What if I told you the smartest mathematician on Earth right now is not a human, but a chatbot that was watching the World Cup final when it made history? On August 4th, a mathematician at Anthropic casually posted a tiny formula on X that toppled a problem mathematicians had been fighting for 87 years. The Jacobian conjecture. Unsolved since 1939. And the answer was short enough to fit in a single social media post. Today, we break down how an AI called Claude Fable 5 just changed mathematics forever, and why this might be the scariest, most exciting moment in the history of science. Here is what you need to understand first. A conjecture is not a fact. It is a guess that mathematicians strongly believe is true, but nobody has ever been able to prove. The Jacobian conjecture was one of the most famous guesses in all of mathematics. It sat on a list of the most important problems of the 21st century, right next to problems worth $1 million. It survived attacks from some of the greatest mathematicians in history, including legends whose names are now carved into textbooks. And then, one evening, an AI model quietly destroyed it. Subscribe now, because what you are about to hear is going to blow your mind, and I promise you will want to know what comes next in this story. Let us actually understand the problem, because it is much simpler than it sounds. Imagine a machine that takes points in space and moves them around, like coordinates on a map. Some of these machines are made purely from polynomials, which are just fancy math expressions made of variables and powers. Now, there is a special test called the Jacobian determinant that tells you whether the machine ever folds or crushes space. If that determinant is always a non-zero constant, the machine never squashes two different points together. The Jacobian conjecture made a bold promise: if a polynomial machine never crushes space, then there is always a reverse machine, also made of polynomials, that undoes it perfectly. Every point returns exactly where it started. Sounds reasonable, right? Mathematicians believed it for 87 years. But here is the catch. Not every function is reversible. If your machine merges two different points into one single point, you can never tell them apart again. You literally cannot reverse that. For decades, mathematicians tried to prove that polynomial machines with constant Jacobians are always safe from this merging problem. They failed, over and over. Legendary mathematicians published claimed proofs, and every single one contained a hidden error. The problem became famous for destroying careers. It even made the list of the most important open problems of the coming century, chosen by a Fields Medal winner. And the best computer checks could only confirm the conjecture held in two dimensions for polynomials up to degree 100. The general case, completely open. Then came Claude Fable 5, released publicly by Anthropic only weeks earlier. Levent Alpoge, a mathematician working at Anthropic, handed the problem to the model. And the AI found a counterexample so simple that it fits in one tweet. The function lives in 3 dimensions, it has a constant Jacobian determinant of -2, and it moves multiple different input points to the exact same output point. In other words, it crushes space, proving the conjecture false in 3 dimensions and above. The 2-dimensional version remains unsolved, but the general claim, the one that mathematicians had believed for nearly a century, is dead. A formula shorter than a grocery list just defeated an 87-year-old monster. Now here is the part that should genuinely terrify and thrill you. This is not an isolated miracle. This is the 3rd major AI math breakthrough in recent months. Earlier this year, OpenAI announced that a general-purpose reasoning model disproved the unit distance conjecture, a problem posed by the legendary Paul Erdos in 1946, and Fields medalist Tim Gowers said the solution would be accepted at the annals of mathematics without hesitation. A 23-year-old amateur used AI to prove Erdo's problem 1196. And now the Jacobian conjecture falls. What makes this one different is the sheer simplicity. The AI did not need an intricate 200-page proof. It navigated an enormous search space of possible polynomial mappings and simply found the one weird object nobody had ever thought to look for. So what does this mean for the future of mathematics? Some mathematicians call it a very rapid and very unsettling change. The old rule was that AI could help write proofs. The new rule is that AI can discover things humans never even imagined existed. That shifts the job of a mathematician from doing the searching to asking the right questions. It also raises big questions about verification, trust, and what happens when an AI announces a result casually on social media instead of publishing a formal paper. The Jacobian counterexample was easy to check, and mathematicians verified it quickly. But future results might not be so simple. We are entering an era where the smartest mathematician in the room might be a machine, and the humans are the ones trying to keep up. So here is the bottom line. An AI just toppled an 87-year-old math problem with a formula shorter than a tweet, and it did it while its creator watched the World Cup. Whether that terrifies you or excites you, one thing is certain: mathematics will never be the same. If this video made you think, hit that subscribe button right now, because we cover stories like this every single day, and you do not want to miss what AI cracks next. Drop a comment telling me whether you trust AI math results, and I will see you in the next video. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and never underestimate what a chatbot can do when nobody is looking.